Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a science fiction thriller film, Code 8. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a series of news regarding humans with super abilities. There's news calling out superhumans to register their abilities, and some tackling their potentials. In another light, a newly addictive street drug called Psych takes center stage in Lincoln City. It is a drug produced from superhuman spinal fluid and is now spreading like wildfire. A young man drives to a residential construction site just after a job interview. He disses his shirt and tie for a t-shirt and gets off. There, he greets a foreman and asks for a task. The foreman deals him with a half-a-day salary, despite him missing just an hour's worth. Almost everyone on the site has super abilities. All are utilized to do each task of the construction job. A sound of drones and the police calling every worker out for identification pause the young man from his task. He is fixing electrical wires with his bare hands. Obviously, he is an electric. Two policemen line them up outside. A drone scans them as they all face the sky and numbers the enabled ones. One of the policemen demands them to go home or get a permit if they badly want to work. Another man is identified to have a warrant and gets a handcuff in a matter of seconds. Not long after, the man showcases his firepower. The policeman escorting him into the car falls to the ground with shock and heat. The man grabs his chance to run away, but he can't go far. Two robotic soldiers, known as the Guardians, drop into the ground from the drone and fire at him with great precision. He falls due to the gunfire. On another side of the city, the police bust a psych farm, making it one of the news headlines. Along with it, the psych run gathers everyone's attention. Is a video of the police incinerating drugs. The video passes along the message, the more you make, the more we burn. The electric walks in on his mom being lashed out by his boss. The woman works at a grocery store, and right now, she is picking shards of a broken sauce jar on the floor. The sauce is in a lump, frozen. Seeing her son, the woman stands up and tells him to wait for her in the car. However, a snide remark from his mother's boss stops the electric at his feet. He gives the boss a piece of the foul word, and would very like to give him a piece of his ability. Fortunately for the boss, his mother stops him, as his eyes grow bluer. The very next day, the electric sits among other workers by the sidewalk. He notices a red cargo van with a sticker, Lincoln Power. One worker says it's a pretty famous crew of the well-known psych drug maker. The red van stops in front of them, and the driver speaks out without any sort of introduction. He needs a Class 2 electric. Every one of them tries to snob him. However, as the driver turns to just leave, the electric stands and presents himself. He deals a $200 cash advance, to which the driver snorts. The woman by the passenger seat also spits an insult, as if he's not there. The driver agrees casually after clarifying his class. The next string of insult comes from his own mouth, as he tries to cut a high-voltage cyclone gate open. He assesses the gate and decides to drop his tool, and goes bare hand. He manages to stop the electrical flow, much to the woman's delight. The woman then melts the iron chain that keeps the gates closed. She is actually a pyro. A mute is with them. He is a brawn, who can easily lift drum after drum of chemicals into the van. The driver, on the other hand, is a TK, who has the telekinetic ability that proves useful, as he easily gets a guard's radio with a flick of his finger. The brawn easily crushes it in his hand, leaving the guard with no will to report them anymore. They easily lead the patrols away from them, as they peel off their van's disguise. It's no longer red, but a white cargo van that they drive off to their base, an underground club. In the base, Sutcliffe uses his ability to read minds, and sees the different ways that the mind is going to slit his throat. A man is giving him an ultimatum for pay. He only has 1 week, or he will make that image he just saw come true. It's another day for the electric. He is back at the street, waiting with the other workers. The foreman from his last construction job pulls over, and announces the skills he needs for the day. At that very moment, the TK's car pulls over just across the street from them. Choosing the TK over his day job brings the electric to now. Now he is lighting up bulbs, as the TK uses his ability to levitate them. He is actually training in preparing for their next job, a bank mission. With their training, the TK realizes that he is a Class 5 electric, and thus has great promise in their line of work. It's the D-Day of the bank mission. The TK points a gun at the bank teller, as the electric surges his power to the vault. He shorts the electricity, then talks the lady into opening the vault. However, the vault sneers at them with only a few trays of cash. Turns out it was cleared just hours before they got there. With no better choice, they bag what little money the vault has, and run out the back door. There, a drone tries to stop them. However, the electric fries it before it even manages to drop the Guardians. The psych maker goes hysterical upon learning about the unsuccessful operation. The trust is not an easy enemy, and $50,000 is just 10% of what they are supposed to swap his life with. The electric tries to warn them, but a shaved woman shoots at the psych maker just as he shouts, "Gun, gun." However, the psych maker's bodyguard is quick to shield the psych maker with his body. The electric rushes over and shocks the shaved woman as he sees a certain black-haired woman being the target. At the same time, the bodyguard stands up again and shoots the shaved woman. He finishes her off with a headshot and pulls some bullets off his chest. He is alive and well, like nothing has happened. The electric finds the black hair in the back room. He can't seem to absorb why the woman was a target earlier. The woman eyes his arm instead of answering his curiosity. She stands up and takes the bandage that covers the stab wound and replaces it with her hand. That's how the answer comes to the electric. The woman turns to be a healer, and she heals to pay a debt and for the psych drug, maybe. At home, the electric's mother confronts him, and they get into an argument. He does not deny his means of getting money. It's all over the news anyways. Their argument stops short as his mother's hands grow frostbites and freeze her glass of water. She faints, and next thing they know, they are at the hospital with growing bills. After the hospital, the electric finds himself sitting face to face with two policemen. They try to juice out some information about the psych maker. He remains unbothered even with the foul mouth that one of them is showcasing. One of the cops convinces the other that they have no choice but to let him go. If there's one good thing about his run-in with the police, it's the fact that he realizes a business to come up with the psych maker. He learns about the police's plan for the psych run. The TK brings him to the psych maker, who is with the healer. They suggest a plan and make a deal with the psych maker. For the electric, it's the healer in exchange for the psych drug, and for the TK, so it is equal rights in the business. A little more talk, and they seal it with a handshake. After that, they pass their time planning and strategizing for their next mission. They prepare themselves until the D-Day comes. Drones circle the vicinity on the lookout for the armored truck, carrying millions worth of dollars of psych drug. At the same time, the TK and his group do the same along with the psych maker's men. They are on the lookout, as the electric waits for his chance to fry the armored truck. The TK creates the chance by blocking the road with his truck. The electric takes his time charging up his power, and the cops deploy guardians to arrest the TK for his antics. However, he is not too late to fry them, before they can take a step closer to the TK. The cops on the ground call out Code 8, seeing the incident. They use all their abilities to complete their mission. The pyro burns a hole into the armored van, and the Brawn puts a smoke grenade into it. The men inside have no choice but to get out, where the TK holds men down on their knees. Just as the pyro passes the suitcases of psych drug to the psych maker's bodyguard, the TK has his eyes out of their sockets. The psych maker's men begin firing at the cops on the ground. He turns and sees the bodyguard pointing a gun at the pyro's back. His warning comes late, when the pyro falls to the ground just as he calls her name. The Brawn gets the chance for safety, as the TK grabs him to his side with his ability. The gunmen continue firing at them, as the bodyguard departs with the psych drug. Not long after, another drone arrives and deploys guardians on the ground. They take care of the gunmen as the TK, while the electric and the Brawn run for their lives. The turn of events brings us to now. The electric blames the TK for it. The psych maker betrayed them, and not only was the pyro sacrificed in the mission, the Brawn is also dead for losing too much blood. The TK turns silent, as the electric calls him greedy, and walks out on him. The cops, who had the electric in custody before, also blaming each other in front of their chief. They realize now that they get the big fish back into the water, and they will take the consequences if they fail to get him back. The electric visits his mother in the hospital. He cries as he promises to fix everything, and pleads for his mother's trust. His mother, however, asks him to let her go and get straight. The Asian cop is in the park with his daughter. He is just about to answer his daughter's question about her special case, when a man runs to him. It's the electric's coworker, who always sits by him when they wait for their job. He hands a piece of paper to the Asian cop, and walks away. The Asian cop meets the electric in a diner. The latter promises the psych maker with a string attached. He needs to save his mom, before he turns himself in. The Asian cop's unit supervises the operation to arrest the psych maker. The police deploy guardians to the psych maker's den. The latter and his men begin running away with the psych drug. However, the TK does not let them go any further. He shoots the psych maker, who instantly falls on the floor. The bodyguard, on the other hand, just groans for a while, then stands up. Only his shirt has holes from the bullet. It takes both the electric and the TK to put him down for good. Then, they get back to the psych maker who has a gun on the healer, willing her to fix him. He is not able to get the fix he wants, as the TK chokes him without a touch. He meets the opposite of fix. Right after, the electric turns to the healer, pleading with her to heal his mom. However, the healer refuses and shows her forearm. The electric sees the exact replica of the wound he had previously. Actually, the healer absorbs the pain of the one she heals. A word from the TK, and now the electric points a gun at the healer. He brings her to his mother's hospital bed and demands her to heal his mother. However, as the healer is in the middle of what she does, the electric stops him. His purity is at work, as he never wants to hurt anybody, so he lets the healer go. The movie ends with the electric visiting his mother's grave, and the healer visiting an old man in jail. There's a ban on the use of power, after the cops involved in busting the psych operation get recognition. On the other hand, the TK gives $1 million worth of psych drug to the trust, and deals in a business with them. No one knows when Code 8, the code for arresting powered humans, will be used again. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.